All right, we're back. We're having an interesting discussion in chat. If anyone's watching the VOD for this, we've been talking a little bit about some of the mass shootings in the U.S. and relating to an article
5 seconds remaining.
That was in the paper today in Toronto. Sorry, it was in the Globe and Mail.
Reserve time
today. Yes, I know, print media. People still read that, but it was referring to mass shootings and specifically mass shootings in the U.S. and the fact that there's been more mass shootings to date this year than there's been days in the year, with mass shootings defined as 4 or more people dead or injured.
10 seconds.
But we're going to try to lift our spirits up after that conversation.
5 seconds remaining.
First, we're going to start with trivia and talk about the question I asked before we went to break,
Reserve
and that
time.
is regarding Canadian currency. There's a difference between the $1 denomination in the US and the $1 denomination in Canada. What is that difference, and what do we call it? And then we also have a $2 denomination, which the US does not have, and what do we call that? So first of all,
Radiant team ban.
in the US, you've got a $1 bill. In Canada, we've got a $1 coin, and we refer to it as a loonie, and it has a loon on it, but it's referred to as a loonie. It's a little bit of a funny name. And I'm going to say recently, but it's probably like 1990-something, like early 90s. They came out with a new denomination called the $2 coin, which we actually used to have a $2 bill as well, and those are quite rare and not in circulation anymore. But now we've got a $2 coin, which is we refer to as a toonie. So another little bit of a funny name there. But besides that, what's actually interesting about the Canadian currency is that our bills are actually all... We recently switched this within the last 5 or 10 years. We switched to our bills all being plastic, and that's actually great because you can leave money in your pocket and wash your pants, and your money's perfectly fine. It comes out of the washing machine. It's good to go. It's still plastic. It's still valuable. It's not this mess of kind of like when you put a Kleenex in or leave a Kleenex in your pocket or something like that. So that's nice. You can throw it in the dryer. It comes out. It doesn't melt. It's great. On top of that, they're all color coded, so it's really easy to
5 seconds remaining.
see the difference between two bills and know exactly which one's the 5, which one's the 10, which one's the 20, and pull it out of your wallet. It drove me nuts when I was in New York and for ESL New York, and when I was in Seattle for TI5. Just using American money is like, oh, it just drives me nuts. You got so many of these bills and you got so many ones, and you're just like trying to flip through them, try and get the right one. I'm sure you guys have an easier time or have some other way of organizing it, but for me, it's just a disaster having the color coded and just the better feeling bills and everything. It's cool. The plastic bills are pretty nice, and part of the bills are actually transparent, so you can see through part of it, which is pretty cool as well. But there's one other thing that we've done. This one's a little bit more recent, within the last 5 years. We've actually removed the penny from circulation, so we no longer have the penny, and all transactions are rounded to the nearest 5 cents. So we no longer carry around pennies, and honestly, people were like up in arms against it. It was like, no, save the penny, save it. You know how people get. But now that it's gone, it is great. Like, I hate carrying around pennies. I hate change in general, but not having a penny is awesome. But we are actually casting a Dota match. I almost forgot that for a minute there. I thought this was a trivia show. But no, we're casting Dota. We are casting the Dota 2 Canada Cup. We're in Group B. This is our second game of 3 tonight. I haven't even introduced myself. I'm Niz. You're watching NizCast. Thanks for stopping by. But we've got Team Leviathan, which we saw in our first match of tonight, and they put on a clinic. They showed how to play some good Dodo. And they're going to be playing at the dire side this game, as they actually played last game as well. They're going up against paiN Gaming, which is currently undefeated in the group. They've only played one game, though. But they took the one and only game off of Team Unknown. So they're sitting at 1-0. They're playing on the Radiant side. Leviathan sitting at 1-1. This is their final game of the group. And as they try to take a win here and tie Unknown,
Radiant
which
team
is
pick.
leading the group at 2-1. Well, let's catch up quickly with the draft here. We've got Tusk, Shadow Fiend, Ember Spirit, and Templar Assassin banned out by Team Leviathan. The bans for paiN were Gyrocopter, Doom, Lich, and Ancient Apparition. The picks: Queen of paiN, Slardar, Juggernaut for Team Leviathan, coming straight out of the gate, picking up 3 cores. Unless we're going to see a support Slardar like we saw yesterday from Team Unknown. As for paiN, they've picked up the Winter Wyvern and the Darkseer, an always super strong combo. And then they've added the Alchemist onto that as well. Alchemist and Darkseer also synergize incredibly well, with Alchemist channeling that stun, and then Darkseer vacuums them in as Alchemist is stunned in the air, and then they all get stunned because the stun is actually an AoE around the target that gets hit.
10 seconds
so there's
remaining.
great synergy there. Darkseer is also great at preventing teams from going uphill. So if you try to punish a team with an Alchemist and try to break racks early on while Alk is still... Alk's a weird hero. He's got this Grievel's Greed ability that helps amplify his farm and accelerate his farm. But he's also... He still takes a while to get online. So he gets items before. But if he goes the more farm accelerating build with the Radiance and that kind of style, which is typically strong against physical based lineups, which Leviathan, they've got the Slardar and the Juggernaut that might be heading down that road. It takes a little bit of time to get off your feet, and sometimes you can actually, teams will just come and fight you. But we've recently seen teams that run Alchemist choosing to go more after the fighting base build, picking up an armlet and just going and fighting the enemy team and go. Now, Team Leviathan picking up some more team fight as they're going to pick up Undying. So they're expecting a fight early on, or maybe they're just going to use that Undying defensively, but I have a feeling they're going to go on the offensive with that. Dazzle was the pickup for paiN, as there was a bunch of stuff written in chat as I was doing all that intro that I haven't unfortunately gotten able to read.
Reserve time.
But yeah, we've
5 seconds
we've got a pretty good draft so far. I'm actually excited to see how this one's going to pan out. Disruptor getting banned out by paiN.
Dire team ban.
As Leviathan already has a good amount of burst damage going up against the Alchemist with the Queen of paiN. But maybe you'd like to see a little bit more damage coming out from a support. I'm not really sure if Disruptor was the pick. But it is removed, so it definitely won't be.
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Sorry, just reading, catching up in that chat now. And you guys do have a $2 bill in the U.S.? There just aren't circulated much. Is that like the silver dollar, where it's like it's a currency, but it's not? It's not really like it's not in regular circulation. But you can still use it. It's still a
5 seconds remaining.
Valuable? I don't know what word to use there, but it's still it still holds its value. It's still God, there's a word for that, and I'm just blanking on it. Huskar, the band for Team Leviathan. And yeah, you can... I know what you're saying about how you can wash the dollars. They're fabric, not paper, and that's how our bills used to be as well. You can wash them.
10
but
seconds remaining.
They become very, very... legal tender, thank you.
5 seconds remaining.
They become almost like very brittle, and you have to be careful with them when they're wet, kind of, because they are fabric and they can tear. So they will, like, you can lay them out and stuff, and they'll return back to their original state, I guess. But like to throw on the webcam and just dump a bottle of water on a bill right now. But yeah, they're plastic. Like I think they're still flexible, but I think it's the same kind of plastic or similar kind of plastic that credit cards are actually made of.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't remember. It was a big deal when they were coming out with it, and there was a whole bunch of stuff written about it. So you can search it up on Google and you'll find stuff about it. But our bills are pretty awesome. Webcam or Riot? I have a hard enough time managing the camera in game, so no webcam just yet. It's here somewhere though. I got a webcam and a green screen. I'm using neither of them. But we've got our final 2 picks here as Invoker was picked up by paiN Gaming and Leviathan chose to go with Night Stalker. There's a lot of fight on this team. They're definitely going to take the fight to paiN Gaming and their Alchemist. Night Stalker, he's good against Alch. He is good against Alchemist. But Dazzle, that's his role. He's going to try to keep that Alchemist alive. Winter Wyvern, same thing. They've got those 2 super defensive supports as they're going to try to protect their safe lane Alchemist.
10
Invoker,
seconds remaining.
he's going to try and play spoiler. He's not really going to...
5
He's going to provide some
seconds
good
remaining.
damage additional to this team as they've got Darkseer as their offlaner. But let's go into this game as we've
Prepare
got
for
paiN
battle.
Gaming currently undefeated as they are representing our Radiant side as Cat can TP down to the bottom lane on the Dazzle trying to prevent Jenkins from getting an aggressive observer ward up. This is kind of the new meta. We've seen this a couple games so far where the offlaner TP's down to get a ward up, but now supports are starting to TP down and protect. But well, apparently Dazzle not winning out on the trade against Undying. And ooh, Jenkins trying to go for that kill on a Cat, but maybe he's gone a little bit too far. Some more reinforcements have come in from paiN Gaming. But looks like Jenkins will get away from that safely as we'll go back to introducing our players. As Cat's going to be on the Dazzle, Pepita is going to be on the Invoker, Pico is going to be
30
on the
seconds
Winter
to
Wyvern.
battle.
And I guess we'll cover a little bit of the side of Leviathan as we got NewSham on the Slaughter. I don't want to look away from this. Shibby on the Queen of Pain. Jenkins on the Undying, which we saw part of the action already. But doesn't look like we're going to have anything here. So Tavo is going to be on the Darkseer for paiN. Flying Zebra is on the Night Stalker for Leviathan. As they move up to the top lane, 40R is playing that Alchemist for paiN, and Demon's going to play the
battle
Juggernaut for
begins.
Leviathan. That was a little bit unorthodox in how we normally introduce it, and actually both runes going to Leviathan as there was a mad click fest going for that top one, but Alch doesn't win out. And now we're actually going to have first blood as Tavo is going to go down. Demon gets that final slash of the sword, and the Darkseer, his pointy head gets chopped off by the Juggernaut. First blood goes the way of Leviathan. And interesting, these are not the lanes that I was expecting to come out, as paiN making some rotations here potentially, as they're going to have Darkseer in the off lane going up against Juggernaut. We expected these heroes to be in this lane, but take a look at our mid lane. It's an Alchemist here. I expected the Invoker to be here, but it's an Alch and Winter Wyvern babysitting for a bit, going up against the Queen of Pain and the Night Stalker doing a little bit of babysitting. But look at this. I spoke about how good Night Stalker is against Alch, and oh my goodness, they're not going to get this Alch? Oh no! Flying Zebra, he's gone down, and now Shibby, very, very low, blink up in 2 seconds. The range creep trying to play spoiler. The Tango trying
Dyer's
to
top tower
regen, and
is
he's
under
just going to
attack.
deny to the neutral creeps, not giving that gold to the enemy team. But 40R, so close to dead. The regen from eating that tree, the Tango, proves to be too much. As it looks like NewSham and Shibby were going to get that kill, but, well, I was wrong in that assumption. Alright. I just said NewSham. I completely said that wrong. I'm forgetting. Flying Zebra, thank you. As he was playing the Night Stalker. This is what happens when the introductions don't go the way that they're supposed to. I start forgetting who's on which heroes. But speaking of NewSham, we're looking at him in the bottom lane. He's playing the Slardar paired up with Jenkins. And they're going up against Invoker and Dazzle. Kind of an orthodox lane, but they had to make a rotation. They had to change things up. They wanted their Alchemist to be in the mid lane instead. And they're going to try and get some bounty runes for him. Winter Wyvern goes to the bottom rune to try to secure that, but unfortunately it's going to be a regen, which is nice. He could use a little bit of the mana, but they really want those bounty runes for the Alch. Bounties up in the top location, but I really don't see Leviathan leaving that. Unfortunately, Darkseer has too much lag. Wait a few minutes, so we're going to wait for that to clear. I love how that creates a moment where I look at chat and then you guys are talking about my sexy face. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is what happens when I bring up the webcam or mention the webcam. It's a disaster. Please don't riot. Please don't riot. I'll bring up the items here so we can see if anyone's picked up anything interesting. It doesn't look like it. It's still too early. We're only 2 minutes into the game. Who's gonna have picked up something shocking? Tavo continues to DC and reconnect, and hopefully he gets the lag issue sorted. It's a disaster. I wish I could do the Toby voice for that one. Now what do we talk about during this pause? It's better when they pause a little bit later into the game. You got more stuff to talk about in the game. I guess we'll just talk about Canadian facts. What do we got here? Did you know that 1.5% of the world's food is produced in Canada? But we only consume 0.6% of the world's food supply? So I guess that extra 0.9% is probably going south of the border. It's all the fat Americans, right? I kid. The unfortunate part of that is the majority is probably maple syrup, because 77% of the world's maple syrup production is actually in Quebec, Canada. But thankfully, the game has returned. It has saved us from the Canada facts. As we're going to lose the Darkseer in the top lane, we unpause and Tavo goes down, as that was unfortunate. They paused at a moment where it was pretty clear that Darkseer was getting ganked and he was dead. But we'll try to get back to the game here. Oh, Canada facts. Where have you been all my life? I guess you have been my life. So far, Leviathan 2-1 kill total. They got that first blood, then they just got that kill on Tavo. And there have been 2 deaths on the side of Leviathan, but only one of them going the way of paiN, as Shibby was able to deny himself to those neutrals after that dive on the Alchemist in the mid lane. So, looking like this game's starting off a little bit less passive than our last game, but still, for the most part, pretty passive. As both teams just kind of feeling each other out, just sitting in the lanes, getting their farm on. So what's interesting to note is that Jenkins primarily plays the offlaner for Leviathan. And we saw last game him playing the Slardar, but this time he's playing the Undying, and it's actually the Slardar that's farming up in the lane.
Is under attack.
So a little slight difference there. So when they play an offlane combo like this, and they used to play a lot of Undying. I'm not sure if they, in this kind of configuration, I'm not sure if they still do. If they're still playing it as much as they used to. But yeah, they like running this Undying offlane dual lane, and it's very, very strong, and it works well for them. So if Leviathan are to advance out of the group, I don't imagine this is the last time we're going to see this. Unfortunately, Alk still not finding those bounty runes. He's bottled up a haste here, and we're going to have a smoke from Flying Zebra. He's going to pop that solo. It was close to vision in the mid lane, but just outside the vision from the Radiant side. So Flying Zebra moves down through the Radiant jungle. They're going to go for a dive here on the bottom tier 1, maybe? They have to know Cat's down here, although he's not showing right now. They have to know he's down here. Flying Zebra's looking for him. Can get popped now. He got a little bit too close. Oh, Cat's going to rotate away, and this opens up an opportunity for them to go on paiPiTA. They didn't even know Cat was making that rotation. But either way, they start going in, and paiPiTA is able to get that ghost walk off. QQ walk. A nice evasion of that gank there, but now they're just going to come right back and they say, hey, there's a Dazzle back here. Let's kill him. He's silenced, no ability to get the Shallow Grave off. He was just about to cast it as that Silent wore off, but they were able to bring him down fast enough. And now Shibby's going to come in. He's going to find 40R, very low on HP. Scream of paiN finishes off the Alchemist. He's out farming up one of those camps, and it's actually killing the top lane, not in the bottom lane, as Demon gets the kill onto Tavo. As Cat comes back to try and defend the stack, but Shibby blinks away, and now Cat softening up the Centaur. I imagine he's still going to leave it. Yeah, he's going to leave it there. So, the Alchemist will take that at some point, but they'll keep stacking off of that. Flying Zebra is going to find Cat as they both are rotating in opposite directions in the jungle. And now this Dazzle's in a little bit of trouble, but he's got safety close by. paiPiTA was actually TPing in on the Invoker, but he cancels. Now Jenkins is in the mid lane, and here we do actually have a battle. Flying Zebra has found Cat once again. Shallow Grave's going to come out from the Dazzle. He's just going to have to sit and wait that out. Shallow Grave's going to finish. Flying Zebra going to get the kill. And Pico arrives on the scene just a little bit too late. Flying Zebra getting a deep observer ward, going to help them keep tabs on what's going on with this camp in terms of stacking, and that's really what they're going to try to do with this Night Stalker. A lot of moving around. Unfortunately, when the nighttime ends, he's not going to be able to do so. That's going to be in about 40 seconds from now, because we hit that 8-minute mark. And then they're not going to be able to control the Radiant jungle as well as they have been. But they're going to look to continue to put pressure on 40R on this Alchemist. Make sure that he's not able to just freely farm. But yeah, expect them to try and keep stacking this camp and this camp. Those are the two big camps that get stacked for the Alchemist. And paiPiTA actually coming in and killing that one creep. Action in the top lane as Tavo's been slowed up. What? Pico there with the freeze, the cold embrace from the Winter Wyvern. Shibby unfortunately didn't have his ult available for that. It's going to be up now. Leviathan looks to keep the pressure going. How is Nusham doing here in the bottom lane? Up to 600 gold, so working towards that Blink Dagger.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Does have level 6, so amplified damage. As I unfortunately miss a kill. They do get a kill on the Alchemist, a very important kill, and I miss it. I'm sorry, guys. T-Tours equals NizCast, no space. First miss of the night. First miss kill of the night. Or second, actually, because we missed the dive from the Juggernaut. That one wasn't fair. There was another kill going on at the same time. Oh, Shibby. He's going to come in here and clear this stack. Doing a little cliff jungling. You get yelled at in pubs for doing this. I guess not when you're doing it on the opponent's side. Taking one of their stacks. But good job from Leviathan. They're always good at doing... figuring out these kind of counter meta ways of playing heroes. They're very active on stealing stacks, taking the enemy jungle, getting wards up to block camp, stuff like that. They're very active in doing stuff like that. They've been doing that for a long, long time. I mentioned I cast a bunch of them in Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 5. And they were doing much the same stuff. Pico barely escaping a gank there. Flying Zebra sitting on 70 HP. Guess he doesn't really have too much to be worried about, as there's no heroes up there in the top lane. So far, we've got just a really standard game. There's definitely an advantage in favor of Leviathan in terms of farm. We compare a bunch of the heroes here. We've got the Jug farming up against the Darkseer, and Jug about ahead 20 CS there. The Queen of paiN farming up against the Alchemist. They're pretty similar in terms of CS, but net worth, the Alch's going to be higher just because of Greevil's Greed. And then you've got the Slardar compared to the Invoker, and advantage for the Slardar there, ahead about 15 or so CS. So Leviathan finding a little bit more farm
Dire's
here
middle tower is under
on the
attack.
map. But now some of the rotations are starting to happen. We're kind of exiting the laning phase. We're still for the most part laning, but we're getting away from the really static laning stage of the game. You see the Darkseer go down to the bottom. He's got some levels, which means his Ion Shell is doing a lot of damage right now. And he's going to work towards his mech, and that's going to start to put some pressure on the Slardar, who still hasn't picked up his Blink Daggers. He's sitting at 1,600 gold. And that
Radiant's top tower is
Darkseer
under attack.
pretty much immune to most of what the Undying is going to be able to do. He's going to be able to run away and get away from the Undying. And Undying likes to be in fights where the fight kind of stays around that area. I spoke about that fighting build. The Solar Crest has been picked up by 4DR. As I know Jenkins is here, and there's a lot of pings coming out from the players of paiN Gaming.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Do they see this rotation coming back from Leviathan? They're looking for the Darkseer. No, they're not going to go for him there. They're looking. They're definitely looking, but Tavo, he knows what's up. He's backed quite a bit. So they're not going to find him, but this does create a little bit more space for Nusham to keep farming. As Shibby, double damage activated. They're going for 4DR again. Demon's going to spin on him as the Juggernaut, and 4DR is going to go down when the Sonic Wave comes out from Shibby.
Dire's middle tower
Another
is under
death
attack.
for the Alchemist.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now
Radiant
Leviathan goes
structures
after
are
this tier 1 in the
fortified.
top lane. We do have a rotation coming out from paiN, as Cat and Pepita make their way up here. Tower is going to go down.
Radiant's
Jug
top
getting the
tower
last hit
has
there.
fallen.
With that tombstone down, I don't really see them going. I don't really see paiN trying to punish Leviathan for going after a tower. They're just going to back away. Now they do have Darkseer finishing his mech. That's pretty important for them. That means they can team fight a little bit better.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They know
attack.
Flying Zebra's here. It's been drawn on the map. He's in behind this tier 1 tower. Nusham rotating away from bottom lane. He's picked up his Blink Dagger, so they're going to look to maybe jump on mid, but there's a lot of heroes here on paiN. And then ping comes out for the bottom tower. Not sure which ping it was, or who pinged it, but... Shibby's going to wait for a rune. I think Leviathan are just going to be able to take this tier 1. We've got
Radiant's
Jenkins
bottom
parked in the mid
tower
lane
is under
to
attack.
defend the tier 1. I think
Radiant
that's what we're going to
structures
see.
are fortified.
They're just going to chip away at this bottom tier 1 tower. Back if any kind of
Dire's
response comes out.
structures are
But they do
fortified.
have heroes nearby
Dire's middle
if
tower
it's just one
is under
hero.
attack.
And leave Jenkins mid to
Radiant's
try and
bottom
defend the mid
tower
tower.
has fallen.
I think now Leviathan's going to be able to defend this. Yeah, here come the TPs. Tombstone gets dropped. That's exactly what we're going to see. Tornado's going to just hit the Undying as Shibby comes in from behind. Finishes off Cat on the Dazzle. No Shallow Grave, no nothing coming out from the Dazzle. Pepita getting quite low. This is where you need the Dazzle, but it's just not available. Darkseer's already used his mech. Look like Pepita's going to get away. Never mind. Demon's able to catch him up. As I was expecting kills on the other side. There it is. Kill at the top as Pico's going to go down. That's a very separated fight. Will 4DR make it out alive? No. Shibby,
Radiant's
Sonic
middle tower
Wave
is under attack.
gets that kill. As that was a very separated fight, but Leviathan finding kills all over the place. 4 for nil.
Radiant's
As they
middle
take
tower
a 2,300
has
gold swing on top of a tower. Now another deep observer ward getting placed by Flying Zebra. We've seen him use this ward a little bit earlier in the game, but it's spotted because there's an observer ward here from paiN. Very unusual for them to have an observer ward there. It's typically up here a little bit more if you're really going to have a super defensive ward like that, but even still I think that is way too defensive. You need your wards out further than that. This ward doesn't really give them much. And Roche going down there, Shibby picking up the Aegis to go with his Orchid. As we'll switch on to net worth and see how it all shakes out. As we've got 8,700 net worth for the Juggernaut, 8k for the Queen of paiN, and then it's the Alchemist. Alk not leading the way in this game. 4DR sitting at 6.7k net worth. Slardar 5.6. And his NizCast really just has his blink. That's all you need at this stage of the game. The items will come a little bit later, but he's already off to a good start. Tavo in the Darkshare 4.3k. Pepita with the Invoker at 3.6. And then 3.2 on both the Undying Jenkins and Flying Zebra, the Late Stalker. And then unfortunately it's the 2 supports on the side of paiN Gaming. 1,700 gold for Pico and 900 for the Dazzle. Cat struggling quite a bit. Position 6 life, 0, 3, and 0 on that Dazzle. Doesn't even have boots yet. 12 to 1 is our kill total though, as Leviathan
top tower is under
in full
attack.
control of this game, just like they were last game.
Dire's middle tower has been
Flying
denied.
Zebra denies that mid tier 1. And so there's a bunch of heroes from paiN kind of gathered. They were looking to go for that tier 1, but it just gets denied. And now Leviathan takes another free tower. This time it's the top tier 2. Cat gonna TP back to defend. I don't think there's an actual uphill push potentially coming out here from Leviathan, as they're all backing away. And interesting that NizCast actually just purchased a Hand of Midas. So he's gone Blink then Midas on the Slardar. Chibi comes back in, wants to steal a stack. It's 40 yards, use the acid spray. He was farming it up, but neither hero will actually finish that camp. And look at this, they're staying on these camps. They are not giving paiN the opportunity to stack camps and give farm to their Invoker. Or not Invoker, their Alchemist. See some pings coming out from Pepita saying that, you know, I'm attacking this, but I'm leaving it. I haven't finished it off there. It's still there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So I'm assuming that's still for the Alchemist, as they're going to give that farm to him. He's sitting with the Sange now. Leviathan just keeping the ball rolling, going for the bottom tier 2.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They still have that Aegis for another 2 minutes. They've got DD bottled on Shibby. He's got 1,000 gold away from finishing an Aghanim Scepter. His TP's going to come in from Tavo, and I spoke in the draft of doing this against an Alchemist and the Darkshire being good at defending high ground, but they lost to Winter Wyvern. EMP's great at defending high ground as well, as it's going to come out. It's actually going to burn all the mana off of Demon, so he's not going to be able to use Omni Slash, as never mind, he gets hit with Arcane Boots. So if he switches his treads to Int, he will have enough for Omni Slash. But this tier 3 tower is going down as Alk's actually going to stun himself here. The tier 3's down now. They're going to start working on the racks. We're only 19 minutes into this game. And paiN, they have no way of defending. They've got to use this vacuum wall. But as soon as that Darkseer steps up, Leviathan just backs up. The EMP's going to come out again. They're going to dodge away so that doesn't hit them. They still have all their mana. Winter's Curse going to fly out on Flying Zebra. But Leviathan's nicely spread. And now they re-engage at the proper moment. Pepita goes down, Tavo goes down. Pepita has buyback, so he's back in the game. But no buyback for Tavo on the Darkseer. Wall not even being used. As the melee racks goes down in this bottom lane, we just hit the 20-minute mark in this game. And Leviathan backing away, not even losing a single hero. And now, with that little bit of gold that they just got from the push, Jenkins now has completed his mech, so the team fight for Leviathan's gotten even stronger. And I think this is the Aghanims for the Queen of paiN, yeah. We've got the Vlad's on the Night Stalker, but he got that quite a while ago. We got 3,300, almost 3,400 gold on the Juggernaut. And that Midas is going to lead to an item soon on Nusham. So there's definitely more to come here from Leviathan, as it's actually going to be a Desolator for the Juggernaut. So Jimmy going for the Deso on the Jug. That'll also help them with push too. They have to get some farm on Tavo here. He needed his Blink Dagger. That's what was really hurting them. Every time he went to step up into the fight, Leviathan's is like, well, the Darkseer's moving forward. Let's just back up a little bit. Yes, he can surge and run at them still, but it's still not the same. Like, this Darkseer needs his Blink Dagger and he needs levels. He needs to hit level 11. You want that level 2 wall. In fact, he needs to hit 12 is really what he needs to hit, because you need 2 points in your vacuum. You need that max vacuum. Oh, Leviathan might find a pick off here on the Alchebus. But he's got his ultimate activated. He's going to be shallow graved. So the regen is real. There comes a wall, but no vacuum. As Tavo struggling to be effective here. Oh my goodness. The Juggernaut comes in with the Omni Slash, gets a double. Soon after it finishes, he gets a triple. And he didn't even have any help from his team. No help. He just comes in and does it himself. He doesn't care how many heroes are there on the side of paiN. He just goes in. Because they wanted to go for that tier 2, but without any creeps there. The backdoor protection too strong for them. They're almost forgetting that it's 22 minutes into this game. Let's take a quick look at our net worth, and you can see it's been Leviathan all game long. They're 20k ahead right now in net worth. XP past the 15k mark. As Leviathan actually backing a few heroes off here. I think they can keep pushing. No, they're going to back.
Flesh sustains, gold remains.
Yeah, the backwards 3-2-2 is real. It's a very real possibility. We're not that far out. We've got 5 more kills for Leviathan, 1 kill for paiN. I think that's realistic. Maybe the least realistic part about that is paiN getting a kill. I hate to say that. We're 23 minutes in. I hate to say this is over, but this is a very difficult situation for Leviathan to throw. We've seen some real 3-2-2 moments before. This is... You don't lose this game. You don't lose this game. Oh, they need two kills. Yeah, you're right. That's that Canadian math, apparently. I'm actually good at math. But yes. 1 + 1 does not equal 3. Heard it here first on NizCast. Oh, Nusham jumping on Tavo here. Sonic Wave comes out. There's the vacuum. He goes down. He actually did use the vacuum in that last fight prior to the wall going down, but it just didn't work out for him. Well, they got a pick off on that Darkseer. Now where do they go? Looks like they're gathering and grouping towards mid. They want to keep going after this elf. They know he's farming these stacks. He can't venture out too far in his jungle. Oh, Tornado EMP is going to burn through a lot of the mana here on a couple heroes on the side of Leviathan. But there comes Demon, an Omni Slash, another kill. As he's now godlike. Cat's going to shallow grave himself, try and survive, but not happening. Leviathan.
Tower is under attack.
They just need 1 more kill to hit that 22, and paiN needs 2. It's not happening.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
The 3-2-2 is, I think it's dead. Tornado, EMP, Demon spinning, not going to lose any of his mana there.
Are fortified.
Nusham and Shibby jump forward. Here comes Tavo trying to engage. There we go. He's got a wall vacuum. He's going to land on 2, but this is a moment where Leviathan's just backing up.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
And Demon's gone bottom. He's going to take the Ranger Axe. There it goes.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Of course, when you're spinning on Juggernaut, your attacks actually hit buildings. As opposed to Heroes, they don't really do anything when you're doing that. I guess they provide the Deso effect. And you could potentially maim. Beyond that, there's really no point. paiN is just completely up against the ropes right now. What do you do? Look at the net worth. Top 2 on the side of Leviathan. Then the third is your Alchemist. Of all heroes, it's going to be Alchemist because he's got that inflated farm. And then the next 2 are Leviathan. And then you've got your Darkseer, a hero that in the offlane typically gets quite a bit of farm. And then it's the last hero on Leviathan. That is not good. And now they've got an Aegis for the Queen of paiN. We're going to have a separated fight here. Here comes another Omni Slash from the Juggernaut. Bunch of heroes come on in as they try to soak some of that damage. Meanwhile, Shibby gets the kill on the Winter Wyvern, who was kind of left stranded. He was off by himself by that camp. And then Cat's going to go down. 3-2-2 is dead. I guess we could have 3-2-2 if paiN gets a kill. That'll work, right? But still, I don't know if paiN's going to get another kill in this game. Like, it is that bad for them right now. We've got level 10 on Darkseer, Blink purchase. He's even going to purchase a smoke so that they're not going to be able to see him. There we go. Tier 3's down. Range Rack's down. Melee Rack's down. And a Blink Dagger also purchased for Flying Zebra. Now we got Guardian Greaves on the Undying. Still 3 heroes smoked up on the side of paiN as they try to hope that they're going to get themselves in a good position using that Invis to not let their opponent see where the Darkseer is, so he's going to be able to get a better Blink initiation. But Leviathan, they've just backed up. They're going to help their creep waves push in the top lane. As I was mentioning how in control they were the game before, but this is even more in control. This is a stomp, and oh my, Demon Dodo. We got a rapier on the Juggernaut. If there's one way that paiN could ever get themselves back in this game, it would be if they throw this rapier away and paiN gets it. Interesting that they're not choosing to go top. They're going to go for bottom. They're going to swing around. They're going to look to grab a hero here. Not going to happen. They're going to wait for Shibby to catch up as well as they ping him out. Shibby just finishing his AC as well. New Sham picked up a Sacred Relic. Is he going for... Oh boy. They're just running into paiN's base, and look at this. You got 5 heroes on the side of Leviathan. Just hanging out. Just hanging out. Where are you guys? Where are you, paiN? Oh, they're just going to jump. They're going to gank him at their own throne. Oh my goodness. Pico just gets completely blown up. Now Demon spinning. What is this relic going to do? Not relic. Rapier going to do. It's going to allow him to get a solo kill on the Juggernaut. Nothing too special there. The GG gets called as paiN quickly disconnects from this game. That was a little bit of a stomp. Just a little bit of a stomp. So Leviathan finished 2-1. So they're now tied with Unknown. paiN 1-1. So paiN is going to look to win their next game, our final game of the night. As if they win, if paiN wins against T-Show, then we're going to have a 3-way tie. Not sure when that tiebreaker is going to matter or going to happen, but we'd have a 3-way tie. If T-Show manages to get their only win of the tournament, then we'll have paiN finishing at 1 and 2, T-Show finishing at 1 and 2, and then Leviathan and Unknown both finishing at 2 and 1. So we'll have our top 2 and our bottom 2. So we know that those top 2 will advance. So our next game going to be quite important for paiN. It's their whole tournament's on the line, and T-Show is just going to try to play spoilers. So that should be interesting. It should definitely be interesting. That's going to start in about 20 minutes from now. Let's talk a little bit about the scoreboard. Oh my. We had 2 deaths on the side of Leviathan. One of them was to neutrals, as Chibi was denying himself. Flying Zebra the other as they dove, I think it was like a minute into the game, maybe even less than a minute into the game, on the mid-tier 1 tower onto that Alchemist. And 40 are just barely surviving on that one. The only kill for paiN goes to the Winter Wyvern. He's actually the only one with any participation in this game. He's got 1 kill, 0 assists. Everyone on his team, 0 kills, 0 assists. Just deaths. That's all paiN did. They just died this game. It's unfortunate to say that. They got 205 last hits on their Alk. 541 GPM, but yeah. I feel like this is how a lot of people feel in pubs when someone picks an Alchemist now. They just get fed up. They're just like, oh god, Alchemists losers every game in pubs. And it sure is starting to feel like that. But the Alk not working out for paiN here, despite not going for the Radiance build, still going with the aggressive build, but still not working out. They get run over all over the place. But that's going to wrap it up for that game. We've got, like I said, our next game coming up in about 20 minutes from now, featuring paiN and T-Show. But we got a trivia question to ask. So what are we going to ask? This one, you might know it. Probably not, but you might know it. So there is, in Canada, we have postal codes, not zip codes, to identify a property or an address. Now there's one postal code in particular that kids growing up in Canada know. It's famous that kids know it. I mean, their parents and stuff know it too. But it's probably the one postal code that isn't their own that kids know. What is that postal code and why is it significant? So that's my question for you. You guys are probably not going to know that at all, but it's an interesting story, and it's a cool little story behind that. So we'll talk about that when we get back for our next match. And like I said, in about 20 minutes from now. Until then, we're going to throw it to some music and hang out and chat and just have a good time. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit that follow button too.